Alright, I haven't done anything on EV cells in a long time, but obviously the Tesla Model 3 changed the way that EV adoption has gone, and so I just wanted to do last year's top 5 and then the top 5 for this month and the top 5 for this year so far, and happens to be the same 5 cars right now. But this is just U.S. cells because it's real easy for me to go into Inside EVs or whatever it is and look it up for the U.S. There's probably a lot of other good resources online to find EV cells for the whole world, but I haven't come across them yet because I work all the time and I haven't spent the time digging in and finding those resources. So last year in 2018, the #1 selling EV obviously was the Tesla Model 3. They sold 139,782, and that's just the US, I think. So that's pretty crazy, but they were mostly just selling in the US during that time. I think Canada was getting a lot, but I don't think they had hit Europe yet. So that's a majority of what they did sell, but that's really good. That's like almost legit car manufacturer level now. I mean, obviously it's no Ford, Chevy or something like that, but it's pretty good. The second best selling car last year was the Tesla Model X with 26,100, and the third best selling EV last year was the Tesla Model S with 25,745. So they basically swept it. The fourth best selling was the Chevy Bolt because range. The only other car that wasn't a Tesla that could go over 200 miles at the time. And then the fifth best selling was the Nissan Leaf because availability, it's everywhere, and they made a lot of improvements. It's a really nice car, but it still doesn't have thermal battery management, and that's why I think the number was smaller. They sold 14,715, and if they would have done the battery management, I think they would have sold a lot more. I also think they really should have went over the 200-mile range as well, which they finally did now, but they should have done it that year when the opportunity was just huge, because it took the Model 3s a while to get rolling. All right, so for this month, the Tesla Model 3 won with 10,175 sold. Model S was second with 2,275. Model X was third, 2,175. The Bolt was fourth with 2,166, so right there. And then the Leaf was in fifth with 1,314. And for the year so far, obviously, when you hear these numbers, you'll realize that a majority of the sales happened last month. The January and February sales were really low and disappointing. Those sales for March were a lot better. So for 2019 so far, Model 3 leads with 22,425 sold in the US. Bolt is second with 4,316. Model X is third with 3,850. Model S is fourth with 3,625. And the Leaf is fifth with 2,685. So far this year, not one other car has passed the 1,000 cars sold for the year. It's only been 3 months, but that's just showing the gap between all the other cars and these 5. Now we all know that the Nero and the Kona have been getting great reviews. Everybody loves them, but they got this long waiting list. So it's going to take a while for them to gain any momentum. Apparently they can't make them as fast as people want them. So these are still the 5 cars that are selling, that are making an impact in this country. I think worldwide it's a different story, but again, I don't have readily available access to that at this time. So anyway, I thought you might find that interesting.